matter what you see or what you heard, what you witness, there's some people out there who would try to twist the narrative in their own favor to let you know that what you see is not what you really see. And they convince themselves that people believe what they say and moreover what they see. And again, you have others that their mind eyes is so blind and their physical eyes are blind that they cannot see, they cannot understand. Even though they see the thing right there in front of them, they cannot comprehend it. They force themselves not to see things as it ought to be seen. One of the things that oftentimes you will hear me speak about is the disunity of Africans, across the globe. I don't know if it's because after the brainwashing mechanism that was set forth from in the 18th century, when they decided that they're gonna carve up Africa and take some of its most precious cargo out of the continent and place them all over the globe to become indentured servant that we serve as slave. And it's still embedded in many of us Africans that scatter abroad, that we cannot change the narrative, or we should not try to change the narrative, or we should not try to come together as a group of people. And especially here in America, when you look at how many rich millionaires you have in America that could come together, form and make changes so that every last African descendant can feel that they can live a comfortable life here. When one gets some money, I notice that anytime someone else said make it out of the ghetto or make some money, that they feel like they're on top, they always feel like they should put down the rest of Africans or live such elaborate lifestyle. No, I'm not saying that people should not enjoy their money. But when people could, if I had money, I would rather to build factories or businesses so that other people can be employed and be treated well. While you have people buy things, it's their money and they choose how they want to spend it. Buy things that going to make them broke, or they cannot pass down the wealth to their children. Now, let's go back to the history. Right now, if you check out the history of the United States, black people are 300 years, are pretty close to 300 years behind the whites in wealth. We don't think of communities. We don't think of, as I said, let the village raise the children. With all the injustice of slavery, Jim Crow, and all the different politicians that come in power, and I've never seen that one, no matter how you want to, when I put me in power, when I become your representative, I'm going to represent black people. There's not one single congressman out there right now that would say, take up the interests. One city council out there will say, I'm going to take up the interests of my people. When you go around the city, you find like the Greeks are Orthodox, the Jewish, there's the Latinos. Everybody have a sense of community. Have a sense of community that they can depend upon their community. Even some of the black pastors, they don't have a sense of community, who care for the community. Everybody's on this get rich scheme for myself and I alone and my family. We don't see communities. And we hear so many of the younger leaders today, especially let me switch back to Africa, because Africa is where our problem started as black people, because we were there until somebody came and kidnapped us and brought us and scatter us all over. And not only that, they came and kidnapped. You have the same Africans, our leaders, that was there, who sold some of us into slavery and was an accomplice to those that enslave us. And they sit back and relax and let everybody come in and set up all these military bases in Africa to control the wealth and the people of Africa and the leaders. They didn't care when they came and captured us. They didn't care. And now so many years and generation has gone by and they still haven't cared. Every man want to be in their own little section, our little state, because it was one country and they divided up and claim now that they call it different countries. It's one country, so you wanna dwell in your little state or your country that you call it, and just you and your family alone inherit all the little bit of good that the master gave to you, the little bit just to keep you in power. And if you don't keep in line, they either assassinate you or put you in prison. Because that's what I've been seeing over the past 50 years, 60 years. Any African leader who don't line up or put themselves in line with what the people of France or the United States or Britain or whoever, they all can come together for one common goal. Don't matter if America don't like the British and the British don't like the Americans. When they come to one common goal, to fight against the Africans and to keep the Africans in check, whether home or abroad, wherever they are, speak with one voice. So what happened to the African leaders? So many of the younger generation are calling out and pleading to you guys. Say, listen, unite. Unity is always strength. When you can come, if the bully comes to fight and to beat you, and it's you alone, you can't stand him. But if the bully come and it's a 12 of you, he might think twice. He might make him think twice and say, boy, if I hit this one, even though I might can beat this one, won't be able to beat them all. Or if I start to hit this one and one come behind me and knock me out, how it's going to happen? You understand? But as long as you divide, you see, the white man realized that. Divide them up. What's so hard for all the African leaders? Look how many other leaders is calling for you guys to come together. And for unity is strength. If the United States should dismantle all the states of the United States today and decide that we're only gonna have Washington D.C. as the United States and forget about all the other states, Texas, New York, Massachusetts. We don't want them in. We just want Washington D.C. alone to be the United States. You think the United States would be as strong as it is? Look, when the Soviet Union was the Soviet Union, Russia was even stronger then. So why is it that the African leaders, are you so timid or so dumb? One, are you scared? Are you so stupid that you cannot comprehend that unity is strength, to get back together in unity? What will it take? How many African leaders must be assassinated? How many coups you want? It's time for those things. It's time now for the unity. The unity. And if Africa is not free, I believe in my heart that no African nowhere else around the globe would be free and respected. If you go to England, America, Australia, Canada, yes, we claim that we have a little bit of freedom, but we are the most people that people claim that they don't trust us. They think that we are thief. They think all kind of the narrative. When I was a boy, I'll tell you where the brainwashing started. Coming from Hollywood, television, radio, all, you see, they hit us so subtle on a united front from every quarters. The movies that used to come out, it used to teed me off to see some of the movies. Go back in the movies of the 50s and the 60s. That's where the brainwashing started. Tarzan is the king of the jungle. And everything that is white is good. And in the schools, the history that we taught, the curriculum, the syllabus, the school books, the things that we thought, was always the opposite to the truth. In 2024, if you go through the Caribbean, it's most of the same old slave mentality being taught in the college, universities, kindergarten, come right down. If you go to Africa, same thing. The Caribbean, the United States. Don't bother mention Australia and those places, New Zealand and those places. England. Bottom to our rich history. You know, even Jamaica. Show away some of those books what you have and teach how the police used to beat Peter Touch for smoke weed in Jamaica. How they used to shoot innocent youth for that cliff. I know everybody around the world. In America, look how much money them been making off selling weed. Understand? And still in some part of the Caribbean, they still see it illegal. And they say, oh, you see, you know, just the trickery. When I was a boy, I remember, you know, American soldier and Jamaican soldier, them come together and them burn down the ganja field them in Jamaica. Not that let me say this, I don't smoke weed, and I don't sell it. And I'm not going to make profit from it nor smoke it. But I'm just showing you what I've seen in my lifetime. Understand? Or they destroyed. And now America is clamoring to make money from it. Still in America, how many in jail for weed? I'm just showing you how these things work. And we still turn a blind eyes. I was in America in the crack era when them winding up all the black young men, them and women, them and put them in jail. And I'm in America now and see know that a lot of white people is getting hooked and drugs, and now them treat it as a sickness. They don't send them to prison because now them sick. But when the black was doing it, and some even get framed and put into prison innocently and still there today. I'm just showing you what's going on across the globe. I still can open up and realize that, hey, we have to start to think different and come together as a community. From church, schools, to the local government. I tell myself, I will not vote for no one unless I know what you're going to do specifically for my people. Not for me as an individual, for my people. I have to see you have a plan to get my people out of slavery. If you don't have a plan to get my people out of slavery, better me just stay and make somebody else vote. You understand? To put themselves in slavery. Police reform. How many years now me them talk about it? Nothing been done about it. Gun reform. How many years now them been talking about? Nothing done about it. You see, and we still cannot figure out. Black church start to preach unity, how to bring people together as a unit. Not want to take them to heaven, but don't take them to heaven yet. Let them learn to unite down here, because if they can't unite down here first, what am I going to unite at heaven? So we have to start to bring about, the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. God give us the earth to live. You see, we as a people, we want to go to heaven to get our riches, to walk on street of gold. But remember this. Try and get a little house down here first for you and your family, that you can live. And that would make sense. You see, all right. Certain people say we should go to heaven, and nothing wrong with that. Go to paradise and enjoy the goodness of life. But Why all the other nation that telling us to go to paradise, why they want the land, they want the supermarket, they want to own the hospital, they want to own the TV station, they want to own the radio station, they want to own the shipping port, they want to own the airport, they want to own the masses of the land, they want to control businesses and every sector of life. But still they want to go to heaven, and still they're planning to go to heaven. But while they on earth, they want to own everything. So why we as a nation only want our share when we go to heaven? Why our people only want our share? Look what's going on down there in Palestine. Land, war. Nobody's waiting until they go to heaven. They want the land now. They want to control the land now. You control the land, control everything. They want the land now. We only want our share when we go to heaven, to walk on street of gold. Get a little money in your, you see, that come like freeloading to me. You don't know, without no effort. You just want to walk on street of gold. And your children die for hunger a year. He said, the Lord said, He's the one that gives us the power to gain wealth. And some people make it look like, say, if you talk about wealth, you know, you're ungodly. You see, Jesus never have a concern about money. When Jesus want money, what Jesus do? Jesus not even do it himself. He just tell him disciples, say, listen, go down to the sea. You'll find a fish down there. Throw a line, and the fish will come up, and the fish will go having money. You go spend the money for me and you. We forget all about them part. King David was a rich man. God said David is a man after his own heart. Very, very rich. Solomon, David's son. God give more wisdom than everybody. Let me say, all know no man that surpass Solomon wealth. You know what I mean? Only we. And don't forget, remember Solomon said, I am black. Remember that. Solomon said, I'm a black man. I'm black. You understand? But we, today, we think it's ungodly to gain wealth. Why is only our nation, our people, cannot come together and unite and want to stay in the last place of the race? What they call it, them said it's a human race. Human race. We're running to see who can win. It's a win-win situation. So I'm speaking from Africa, where the problems start, throughout the Caribbean, to the United States, to Great Britain. How England benefited by slave. How the United States benefited by slave to build the United States. And once, when it built and they learn all the skills, you go on any road now or any big project you see in a building is put up. You might see one black person there or two working and all the rest. But years ago, when all the work to be done to build this nation, the United States, 300 years of free labor. Just imagine, England advertised, you want to get rich? Come to America. We will give you land, we will give you servants who you don't have to pay to do all the work. You would be the most stupidest person to don't become rich. You're getting acres and acres of land. You're getting people free. If you don't have money, what we will do? We will finance it. We make it a franchise. We finance it. You can pay us back later. right, peels back. And they, over the years, so 300 years of wealth being built up by free labor. And then when you reach to a state now that said, we get enough now, we don't need them no more. Then they start to lock them up. Lock them up. You remember when we used to see the cops using the song Bad Boy, Bad Boys, and just walking around and just arresting black people in the jail and put them in prison, and a lot of black men in prison for some simple crimes. Some in there never commit a crime, still wondering why am I here? Don't even know why they're here after 20, 40 years. And if you don't believe me, why they at the Innocent Project? Who found droves of men and women that was sitting in prison innocently? Because you got these cops that go out and just frame the black men. I'm not making up something. This is what happened. Understand? This is what happened. And the same slave law from England issue right throughout the United States, issue throughout the Caribbean, and them use the same laws and principles to govern Africa. What them make sure the police over Africa, where the military base to set it, make sure you don't get out of order and stir conflict. It is time for African, the younger people, demand from the African leaders, all the military base in Africa should have a timetable to cease to exist, bring back Africa as one. And united. You think every European don't love every European, but then realize that unity is strength, so they unite together. Every black man not going to love every black man. But you see, when we come together as a united strength, pool our money, our resources, our skills, our talents together. Look how we're talented. Everything we're going on. Them said that black man couldn't play golf. We're going out to show so we can play. They said we couldn't swim. We're going out to show them so we can swim. They said black people couldn't do gymnastics. The girls them going out. Small boys going out and show them say talking nonsense. When it comes to music, we dominate the music. All type of music we invent. Reggae music, hip-hop music, rap, rock and roll, country music. You name it. We are the one that develop it, make it, and then somebody else take it. And another thing I want to speak about, I don't think no black person should go to no Grammy and proud when they win a Grammy. That's, I think, in 2024, you should be ashamed to win a Grammy. It should be a shame. It should be a disgrace for a black person to win a Grammy. Why? You want the master, the person that